Hello! Are you confused with some of the buzzwords and terminology associated with Stanislavski performance? Then you've come to the right place. Welcome to Organic Acting. I'm Chris Conway and this is Stanislavski Terminology and Techniques, Circles of Attention and Communion. So the reason why I wanted to create these series of videos is there's a lot of terminology, a lot of buzzwords, a lot of actory talk around Stanislavski. I'm quite guilty of filling my videos with these things, perhaps not explaining things as deeply as I could. It's one of those things where I'm trying to pack as much as I can into a video to give you the best experience and the best learning possible. So that's what I want to do. I want to start unpacking some of these terms and really explaining what they mean and how to use them. Obviously, if you've got any further questions on any of these techniques, do leave me a comment and I will get back to you. So the first one is circles of attention, sometimes referred to as circles of concentration. Now, this is a technique which is applied to help an actor beat their own self-consciousness. If they're on stage and they feel that they're really not in the moment, that they're self-conscious about the audience, they just can't, get into that magical zone where you feel you are the character and the moments are just happening. Sometimes it can happen, sometimes you can just feel so out of it, you just want to run away and you don't want to be anywhere near the stage or the character. You just want to go home and you feel like a bit of a failure. Circles of attention helps with this. It's almost like a reset button. It's giving you the opportunity to go back to the grassroots information of who the character is, why they are there and how they relate to everything around them. It's almost as though you are stopping the self-conscious side, the actory side of you, stopping that from interfering with the character you're trying to play. So what we do is we start adding imaginary circles into the space around you, either the stage space or the set that you're using. In the examples I will use, I've made it more theatrical, more of a stage space, but these techniques can be added to any type of performance. So here we've got a diagram. Here, you'll have to excuse how ridiculously simple this diagram is. Like Doc Brown says in Back to the Future, you'll have to excuse the crudity of the model. But I want you to imagine this is you on stage. Perhaps you're sat, maybe at a desk, but you are occupying a stage space. There's going to be props around you. There's going to be other performers. This is you. So what we do first is we add the first circle. So the first circle is isolated around you and your space. This is your opportunity to start asking yourself, as I said before, the basis, the grassroots of the given circumstances. So who am I? Where am I? Why am I there? What do I want? The bedrock of the given circumstances in this case. And while we're using that first circle, that is the most important place. This is the focus of your attention. And this is what you should really concern yourself with. Also, you want to start asking yourself about your relationship with any props or costume you might have. So any clothes you are wearing will be of that character and how they relate to that character. Are they the clothes that they've chosen themselves, the clothes they like to wear? Maybe they're the clothes that someone else has chosen for them. Maybe your partner is a bit overbearing and maybe your character hates wearing those clothes. Maybe he hates wearing blue shirts. Same with any props you might have. Maybe you're holding a pen or a letter opener. Those things didn't just appear there. They are related to that character and your character will have a relationship to them. So again, you are concerning yourself with this small circle around you and anything in your vicinity and what your character's relationship to those things is. Next we have the second circle. So it's going to be a bigger circle in terms of its circumference. That's going to now cover obviously yourself, but expanded so it covers other characters, other actors that are in your vicinity, and other set and props. Again, what is your character's relationship to those things or those people? What does your character think about those things? What is your character's reaction to those things? And this is where it starts getting interesting. Here we get into circle number 3. Here's where we take it to the edge of the stage and the edge of the room. Remember, in naturalism, the fourth wall is a real wall in a sense. It's an imaginary real wall. So it's not the edge of the stage. There's no audience just beyond that. It's an actual wall of the room. So expanding that circle to the confines of the room so it takes in the whole space. And again, what is your character's thoughts, feelings, reactions to that entire space? Is it their room? Is it their living room? Are they comfortable in that space? Are they in the room of an enemy or the space of an enemy? What is your character's reaction to that space? And then we take it to the fourth circle. That is a circle that goes beyond the edge of the stage. It goes out into the audience. Now, remember, in terms of naturalism, there is no audience there. So in terms of this circle, you're going to be considering what is beyond that fourth wall, what is beyond that room, what is outside of that room. Is it a street? Is it a busy street? Is it an empty field? What is beyond the confines of that room? And so from working from the smallest first circle out to the fourth circle, we can help beat self-consciousness or being aware of the audience or being aware that we are not that character. Simply through working from the first circle to the fourth circle, we can start to train our minds to be in that space, that living, breathing space. Now, all of this does beg the question, how practical is this technique? If you are on a stage in front of an audience and you're performing and you're delivering lines and you're listening for cues and you're hitting your marks, are you really going to be stood there thinking about circles, so the circle around me and then the next circle and the next circle? How practical is this technique? Well, I mean, admittedly, it isn't something that you shouldn't spend 25 minutes doing this. You're acting, you've got to be there, you've got to be delivering, you've got to be hitting your marks. But I think with practice, you can quickly perhaps use the first couple of circles, especially if you're having trouble. You know, what if you start to feel completely not in the moment, what have you got in your hand? You know, what props are you holding? What props are near you? What characters are near you? And if you can practice this, if you can train your mind to start using circles of attention, it's really going to help you to feel more at one and to feel more at home with what is happening on the stage. So next we have communion. Communion brings up a lot of different images in your head. There's a lot of connotations with the word communion. But what we're talking about here is basically your relationship, and this goes back to circles of attention, your relationship to everything around you and how you respond in a naturalistic way. I guess it's related to acting is reacting, but in a more organic, real way. I can't put it any better than that. You know, a real moment that is happening that is not just rehearsed. You want to get away from things feeling like they've been rehearsed 1,000,001 times. If you have an audience, your number one priority is to make sure that not only they get their money's worth, but you are presenting something that is organic, that is happening. You don't want it to become a cookie cutter mentality where you are just pumping out the same lines that you've said 1,000,000 times, or hearing the same words from another character that you've heard 1,000,001 times. It should be real, it should be electric, it should be happening. And I guess we're talking about two or more characters on stage that are investing in each other. Rather than just being aware of their actor selves, they're investing in the characters they're playing and investing in the other characters, for good or ill. Stanislavski said, "The vacant eye is the mirror of the empty soul. So he must build up great inner resources to correspond to the life of a human soul in his part. All the time that he is on the stage, he should be sharing these spiritual resources with the other actors in the play." And we also have communion with objects. Again, going back to circles of attention. You commune with anything that's in the space, props and set that is actually there or imagined. Your character has a relationship to those things. Think about the most mundane objects in your home, even the cutlery in your kitchen drawer. You have a relationship to those objects. Stay with me, I know this is a bit weird, but you know, knives, forks, spoons in a drawer, where did they come from? Did they just appear there? No, you maybe bought them yourself, maybe a relative bought them for you, maybe they came with the house or the flat. You've still got a relationship to those things. Same with your character, any props, any costume. They didn't just appear there. They are in that character's life for a reason. So you should, as an actor and as a character, have a communion with those things. And building up an imaginary life or an imaginary relationship with these things can really help you to feel as though you are at home in that space. Even if you are perhaps in a scene where it's not your space and those are not your character's things, you still have a reaction, you still have an opinion. You know, you might be in the room of your enemy and see a chair that you really hate or a painting that you despise that's on the wall. Think about those things, you know, create those real opinions and thoughts. Your character, as I say, is a living, breathing organism with their own thoughts and opinions. Ideas that you would have cultivated through your work on the character and the given circumstances. I did make a video on building a character, which I will link above. This is going to help you to find the given circumstances of the character and to use your imagination to fill in any blanks and build this person from the ground up. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found the information useful. If you did, please leave me a comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. I've been Chris Conway. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.